The beginning of 2019 marked the end of the production run for this beautiful F80 M3, and later this year the F82 and F83, which is the M4 sibling, also goes out of production. So the chances are, if you are looking for one of these vehicles, you're going to be looking at the used market. And today I'm going to show you what to look for when you are purchasing one of these vehicles used. When the M3 and M4 first came out in 2015, you could get one with either a 6-speed manual transmission or a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. All of the vehicles came with this amazing and absolutely amazing 3-liter twin turbocharged engine producing 425 horsepower. If you can, try to skip the 2015 model year, because in 2016 BMW introduced a lot of cool upgrades in its LCI 1.0 refresh, including these awesome LED tail lamps. Only on the M3. The M4 got the LED tail lamps in 2017, but you got a slightly refreshed interior as well as a new iDrive system. Now 2016 was also the first year you could get this car with the highly desirable competition package, which bumped up the horsepower to 444, retuned the adaptive suspension, revised the exhaust ever so slightly, introduced exterior black trim, as well as interior upgrades such as these amazing ventilated seats and a seat belt with M stitching on them. And then in 2018, BMW decided to refresh it one more time by giving it a new set of headlamps, as well as on the interior these cool black emblems. The old ones were prone to cracking, as well as a new iDrive system with a touchscreen interface. Let's talk about the wheels for a second. You could purchase this vehicle with 3 different types of wheels. In 2015, BMW offered the 18-inch 513M wheel, as well as this 19-inch 437M wheel that came in both this black as well as a silver trim. And when the competition pack came out in 2016, you can option this vehicle with a set of 20-inch 666 wheels that came in both a silver as well as a black trim. And not only were the rims bigger, but the tires themselves were actually wider. 285 versus 275 in the back, and 265 versus 255 in the front. So now that you know the basic features of the M3 and the M4, let me tell you about some of the things to look for when you are buying it used. Now in the past, BMW M engines have not been known for their reliability, and this one so far has been extremely solid, except one issue that some users have been experiencing. And that issue is a crank hub issue. So what is that? Essentially, the timing gear in this engine is not a single piece design with the crank. So when the timing gear slips off the crank, it offsets the timing and you can blow up the engine. But of course, if you ask a regular M3 and an M4 driver, a person who never tweaks or touches this car, he or she will not know that an issue like that exists. But if you go on one of the message boards, you'll know that a lot of users have been experiencing it. And for the most part, it's those who have tweaked or tuned the engines, upped the boost, upgraded the turbos, got more horsepower out of these engines. Also, if you ask one of the vendors that offer fixes for these issues, whether or not this is a real problem, they'll say yes. But in my mind, it's kind of overblown, and you only hear about it on message boards. If you ask many dealers out there, a lot of them haven't heard of such issues at all. So my suggestion here is simple. If you are buying this car used, make sure it hasn't been tuned or tweaked. Make sure no bigger turbos have been installed. Make sure no tune have been installed. Otherwise, it's always going to be in the back of your mind that this crank hub issue might appear. Now, if your car is equipped with carbon ceramic brakes, there are some issues to consider. One, they are very, very squeaky, and pretty much every owner complains of squeakiness. 2, the rotor is so large and the clearance between a 19-inch wheel is so small that a lot of times you get these tiny rocks stuck between the actual barrel of the wheel and the rotor, causing a lot of scratches on the wheel. So it's not a pretty thing to see. Also, if you have carbon ceramic brakes, you cannot use OEM 18-inch wheels, only 19 and above. And at the end, they are extremely, extremely pricey, but should last you over 100,000 miles. These tires, super expensive to replace. Now, since this vehicle has a wide body kit from the factory, obviously the fenders stick out a little more, which means that a lot of debris gets kicked out from the front tire onto this rear quarter panel of the car, causing a lot of little scratches and nicks on this part of the car. So when you're buying it, make sure you inspect it to see that this area is nice and clear and not too badly bruised. My solution to that problem are these custom-made mud flaps that I designed and installed on the car, and they help me protect the side of my car very, very nicely. If the car you're looking at has the optional M Performance exhaust, be sure to get under the car and inspect the area for any cracks, especially the area where the pipes come out of the muffler. That whole section is prone to cracking. BMW hasn't fixed it up until 2018 or so, so if your car is 2018 and older, the chances are you have those issues. The seat emblems are prone to cracking if you have a 2015 through a 2017 model year. In 2018, they were replaced with these. Mine actually cracked and I had them replaced under warranty. Also check the seat bolster. Obviously it needs a lot of love when it comes to conditioning, but this leather is very durable, so no real major issues there. When I bought this car used in 2017, it was only 6 months old, but it took me 4 months to find it. Why? Because I was looking for a car with a very specific set of options. Most importantly, I wanted one that had the competition package. I wanted one that had a manual transmission. I wanted one with a sunroof and not a carbon fiber roof. Yes, I know the carbon fiber roof offers extra weight savings, but to me, the extra light coming from up top is worth it. I wanted the executive package that gave me not only the super cool heads-up display that I use all the time, but also gave me 360 cameras. Anything aside from that is a distraction to me, such as driver assist. A lot of racetracks out there don't even allow you to enter a track with it because it alters your driving experience too much. I also initially wanted a leather dash, but after seeing it in person, I realized that it might be a maintenance nightmare. So if you're on the fence about buying a used M3 or an M4, I say jump off the fence and do it because you'll be very happy with your purchase. These cars have been extremely reliable over the last couple of years. They are very well built. They're amazing to look at, and you can drive them 365 days a year. That's right, I drive my car every single day to and from work. I take it to the racetrack on weekends, and during the winter I put a set of snow tires and I drive it through major snowstorms with no issues. Yes, the exhaust may not sound as great at startup. But if you put all of that aside, you're getting an amazing vehicle, one that you can get with a manual transmission, which is what this car is. You will feel very connected to the car. Every time you drive it, you'll feel special. And this is one of these vehicles that when you park it, you always look back as you walk away. And on that note, I wanted to thank you very much for watching. Let me know if this was somewhat helpful. Leave a comment down below to see if what I highlighted made sense to you. If you have any questions or comments, hit that subscribe button if you haven't. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. I love this car. The tires don't love me, but I love this car, and this manual transmission is where it's at. Oh my God. Every time you drive it, you get excited. Oh yes. Woo!